Hey guys, welcome to Two Dudes Talking. I'm DJ. That's Dustin. What's up?
What's
What's up?
up?
What's up? We're back. Let's get right into it. Right into it. UFC Fight Night at the Apex in Vegas. We have two fights. Let's first talk about the heavyweights. Over 500 pounds of beef inside of that little cage in the Apex.
I love the little
Yeah,
cage.
we have Overeem coming off of what he's 4-1 in his last five fights. Arguably, the one fight he lost, Rosenstruck, was taken away from him in the last 4 seconds of round five. So I'd argue he could have been he was really close to 5-0. Volkov, it's win loss. Both of them are seeking to get into title fight contention. I think Overeem might have one more run in him, especially given the fact that the heavyweight division's just kind of murky. Volkov, he needs a 3 or 4 fight run. Like, I just don't see him fighting for a belt anytime soon, even though he says he wants to, and obviously everybody wants to. But yeah, that's the lay of the land for that fight. I mean, those guys, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing but significant strikes. I think Overeem's
a
little less than 60% of his punches are land by significant strike, and Volkov's like 58%. Neither one of these guys have any significant takedowns to speak about, so we know that someone's going to get knocked out, right? I mean, is that what we're both looking at?
Volkov is slightly taller, but Overeem weighs more. Again, I don't know about weigh-ins, but probably day of fight he'll weigh more. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going with you. It's going to be fists. They're going to fly. Legs might fly. I don't see this being deep water. I think it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, and I just go back to I can't remember who called him this. It might have been Bisbing. And forgive me, I don't know if it was in public or it was behind the scenes, but he called him a peahead. And he said, but basically it's one of those, he has such a tiny head that he gets knocked out really easy. He's like, it's just a matter of physics, right? And I'm like, okay, I can see that. I want Overeem to win. I want to pick Overeem to win.
Yeah,
I think that he truly does believe he's on the back half of his career, obviously, and he knows he needs to win in order to stay in title contention. So let's try to will it and say Overeem early round 2.
Oh, I was going to take Overeem late round 3. I don't think this is going more than 3. I mean, they're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
And it's heavyweight, so they have cement mixers for hands anyway.
Yeah. I look, I'd like to say that it's something's happening to Overeem in round 2. I don't know if that means he's knocking out or getting knocked out, but something's happening in the second round to Overeem, and it's going to be around Overeem. Whether or not Volkov's involved, it's
whether I hope he's involved. He's kind of in the fight.
Yeah, and then the co-main, you got Frankie Edgar and versus Sandhagen. Frankie Edgar is being looked at, and he's always been looked at as kind of a gatekeeper, right? Even when he was champion, he was kind of like a gatekeeper champion. But he's a fan favorite. He's a workhorse, and
definitely a workhorse.
He's showing that he deserves to be in the title conversation, even in bantamweight. Sandhagen's he's ranked 1 above Frankie Edgar. If Frankie
2, actually
2, it's 2. Okay, so
yeah, it's 2 now.
I mean, Frankie Edgar needs to win in order to maybe get next on whoever wins versus Aljamain Sterling and Yan, right? So Frankie wins. That fight, the title fight takes place. Frankie's got next. Frankie loses. I would say that Frankie is kind of done. He's on the
Yeah.
wrong side of. I mean, he's on the wrong side of 35, and he's in his 40s now, right? He's 40. So
And even if he wasn't, he has had so many wars within
yeah,
the octagon. I mean,
it's yeah. So
I
I'm
think,
gonna
look,
will this and say Frankie Edgar by decision
you're going, I
because
hate
that's what
going to the
Frankie
judges.
Edgar does.
I
He goes
know,
to
but
decision.
I know it doesn't mean I have to like it. Um, I'm going to say mid second round, and I'm taking,
Sandhagen.
oh, God.
You're
Fine,
not
because you
taking
took
Frankie.
Edgar. I'll take Sandhagen. Why not? Just to be different.
Yeah, yeah.
Mid second.
So
Sweep the
yeah.
leg. I
So
see this one, by the
we'll
way,
see.
being fast. They're going to have endurance for days. They usually do. So
Yeah, yeah.
should
And
be fun.
that's all I want to talk about on this fight night. But positive vibes to Clay Guida, who's also fighting on this card.
Yeah, definitely. We got
You
you met
know,
him. I met him at a
yeah.
different sporting
No,
event. It was
I
super
worked with
nice.
him.
So hope he
I did,
wins.
yeah, I did stuff with him at Fuel TV. Super nice
I
guy.
will definitely continue to root for
Um,
him.
so I mean, it's hard for me to root against anybody who I've had some sort of working relationship with. Um, that being said, let's move on to the festivities going on this weekend. The Buccaneers of Tampa Bay will be taking on the Chiefs of one Kansas City. Sounds like a pretty formidable matchup in the
Should be.
American football NFL league here. So, I mean, you have current GOAT and all time GOAT versus baby GOAT.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, there's some really interesting storylines here.
Yeah. Look, my favorite storyline, aside from obviously who wins, is if Mahomes can win, he will break, I think it's Tom Brady's record for the youngest quarterback with 2 rings. And
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
super
It's going to be
impressive.
hard to catch Brady's total. I mean, Brady has had a hell of a career. He could retire before the game. He could retire on Saturday and say, you know what, I'm not playing the game. And people would be like, you're still one of the
He's
greatest
been in
quarterbacks that's ever played.
10 Super Bowls. He's been in
He
10
holds
Super Bowls.
every Super Bowl passing record that exists. And if he doesn't, he will.
And I don't care what anybody says, he's the greatest of all time. And I got there reluctantly. Um, and I'm a Tampa Bay believer. I think that Tom is truly the greatest quarterback of all time. And if you had one quarterback to pick, I'm taking Tom. And
I'm
there's
not.
just no doubt about it.
Well, what
You
rules are you
know,
playing under? You're playing under the rules of today or the rules of when they played?
doesn't matter. I think he's tough. I think he's a
Oh.
tough dude. I think he could play under those conditions. I think he could play, so look, at the end of the day, like, he's not made of glass. I don't he's
Oh no, I agree.
proven, he's proven that he is not an injury ridden guy. And,
Yeah.
look, I've been saying 35-27 Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be a slow first quarter, opens up in the second, slow again in the third quarter, and opens up in the fourth because that's the way it typically works. But yeah,
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 27-24 Chiefs.
all right,
Just because that's an odd score, you won't see it very often.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a fun game regardless.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's
And they can't
I
fire
think,
off the cannons.
and but you know what? It's the right two teams in the Super Bowl to me.
Oh yeah,
The right two
the
teams.
most. Yeah, yeah, I agree. They earned it. They deserved it. It's the right
Yeah,
teams to be there.
yeah.
I just love,
I
by the way, that
mean,
did you read that they cannot fire off the cannons when Tampa Bay scores because it's a Super
no.
Bowl. It's supposed to be a neutral site.
Oh,
The NFL said no firing off the cannons.
the ship's still there.
I
They're
know that's
gonna.
what's so funny. It's like, really?
Look,
Okay.
we'll see how many guys on the Chiefs end up having COVID. I mean, looks like the
Yeah,
barber
the
had
barber.
COVID
Yeah,
and
their
people were
barber got
lined
it.
up to get their hair cut. And I'm like,
Oops.
I haven't had a damn haircut in over a
You're telling me?
year. Um,
This is well, I shaved my own head in like June. This is
yeah,
since then. So
I've,
good times.
like over the last couple of weeks, I've actually decided to take the clippers to my hair myself. and clean up the sides and the back. But
Don't lie, you use a Flowbee.
I mean, I did it myself. I mean, I wear a hat a lot of times anyway, but I'm still able to comb it. I think it's disgusting that it's like, oh my God, we need a haircut so badly. And then all of a sudden now your barber has COVID. One of the
Yeah.
linemen, the backup center, continued with his haircut, even after knowing the dude tested positive. I just,
So
I'm so frustrated by these fucking morons. It just frustrates me
athletes gonna athletes there.
so much, frustrates me so much. And I hope people don't have COVID on that team, but the fact
Yeah,
that
me too.
they didn't wait for the result and just let them start cutting hair.
Or how about you get a haircut on Monday? I mean, like, the day after the game?
How about you just don't get a haircut?
Do
Or
it
how about
after the
you
game.
just,
Your season's
I
over. Go
mean,
get COVID.
cut each other's hair. Shit. Go learn how to cut hair on YouTube. It can't be that hard. To at least clean it up. I just think it's dumbfounding how even after all this time they're fucking morons like this. And look, Patrick Mahomes was in
Yeah,
line to get a haircut.
yeah. Well, if he gets
Um,
COVID, what do they do? Do they say the Super Bowl's still on? And I mean,
of course, you can't delay the Super Bowl. I mean, especially now, given the fact that it's days away. We're not talking
yeah,
about 2 weeks away and like, okay, we're gonna have to push it 1 week. It's days away. That's it. It's
yeah.
done. If they have COVID, they're screwed. But anyway, let's move on from that because we can wax poetic on that all day long. The MLB owners hate each other,
Well, I think it's
hate
mutual. The owners and the Players Association
players.
hate each other.
Yeah, the owners offered to play less games but still pay the 165 games, and the players still said fuck you.
162. First of all, get
162,
your
right?
numbers right.
Sorry. Yeah.
They
But
offered two different numbers.
but
They
they
say you can play
offered to pay
154, we'll pay you
full,
162. And they said,
and they
no.
still said fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay? They
And they said,
still
well, you
said
can pay
forget it.
140, whatever. If we have to cancel games, we'll pay you for 162. We'll give you additional expenses per diem. We'll rent you houses. We'll pay your rental houses if we have to delay spring training and spring training. Now, fuck you. Come on.
Yeah.
You know
I
they're
think
going on strike after this year. Just
and they
write it
should.
down.
They should get this figured out. Get this figured out, and it just needs to be less
They were,
contentious. And I just don't care. There's enough going on that we can. Baseball needs to figure its shit out, and the players need to figure their shit out, because you know what?
yeah.
There are so many other things in the world that you can distract yourself with. There are so many other sports. I mean, baseball has a declining audience. It's getting older. They need to figure out their problems, because if they strike, they're going to find out a lot of people are just like, meh, and I'm going
Yeah.
to move on. And I don't want to say I hate that. I mean, look, I love baseball too, but it's, you know what? I'm just tired of millionaires fighting against billionaires. Just tired
Well,
of it.
what
I'm
happened in
tired of
that?
seeing
I
it.
mean, you remember the '94 strike. Do you remember what finally brought baseball back, aside from the steroid era? It's part of the steroid era.
I mean, they needed, Big Mac and Sammy Sosa to bring it back.
Ding,
They
ding, 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 ding.
they and they don't
The
they
home
don't
run
have that.
chase.
And they don't have that. They don't have a Big
No,
Mac and Sammy Sosa, you
no.
know? So,
Look, they need. Here's. I mean, I know the players won't go for it because the players don't care about the length of the game. It means nothing to them. But you need to
yeah,
shorten the game time and get over it.
yeah,
I don't care how
yeah.
you do it. You have to do it.
They need the leadership of the players and the league to get together and say, how can we fucking figure this out, guys? Like, there's gotta be a way.
You'll
Get
know
some
what'll happen when.
arbitrators in there.
Yeah, right. It'll happen when the TV money starts decreasing because the audience in TV is so small that no TV program or entity wants to pay that.
Yeah.
And the fans continue to leave. If you don't have
Yep.
gate revenue and owners don't get, the merch and whatever cut of that they get and all the food and stuff,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the players are going to start making less and less money and they think, oh, we're going strike. We're going strike. And owners are like, dude, no, trust me. The players will be like, oh, we need to put a better product on the field.
Yeah.
Because as you know, even like home run, home run, home run, strikeout, 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 strikeout is boring.
Yeah.
Put the ball in play. Get a guy on base. Make it exciting. Steal the base. Like move. Let's go.
Yeah.
I could.
Any
Sorry, I could talk
yeah.
for
Yeah.
the next 20 years on that topic. But moving
Anyway,
on.
moving on. We have Ben Askren and Jake Paul. One of
Who
the
cares?
Pauls.
One of the Pauls.
Real quick, I hope that Askren beats up whatever Paul this is. I just
I think
look,
he's going to flying knee for the disqualification, but knock him out.
I'd be okay with that. And I think half the world would be okay with that because they just want this Paul guy to go away. And then on the other side, Floyd Mayweather and the other Paul's fight has been postponed. So
Yeah.
that's not even happening.
And Mayweather called out, what's it, 50? 50.
Yeah.
You know what? I have an idea. I think the Paul brothers on the same night, I mean, different, fights, one fight before the other, should box the Diaz brothers. Pick
How
one.
about
I don't
tag
care
team
which.
action? I mean, it's just an exhibition. How about some tag team action?
But you want to turn it into
The
WWE?
Pauls versus the Diaz's. It's real, and they can tag in and tag out as needed. Or you do those like two fights going on in the ring at the same fucking time.
Like
At
the
the end of
Russian MMA stuff where you have like 3-on-3,
yes,
where you have team MMA,
yes, it's
where you
team
have like
MMA.
4 guys or whatever in the ring.
It's an exhibition. The Pauls aren't
Yeah.
serious about being boxers. They're not trying to chase championship belts, and the
But
Diaz is just like fighting. So this to me
a lot.
works. And that would create such a media buzz, and it would be huge pay-per-view buys. Triller or whoever the fuck does these things need to make it happen. I've just made a plan to make hundreds of millions of dollars off a pay-per-view for this 1/2 fights.
I know where
Anyway,
you can put it. I got an idea where they can put it.
where?
Right next to Fight Island.
Put it
Because
on
that
Fight
there's no
Island.
state. Well, yeah, but like right next to that ring that's on the beach.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
Hey,
mean,
look, I think it's a good idea. Do it. I'd watch that.
I
Mostly to watch
would
the
too.
Diaz brothers kick the everlasting crap out of
Right.
the Pauls.
I'd buy the hell out of that fight. I mean, to me, like you could probably get your $89 out of that fight, out of that promotion.
Oh,
For
to watch the
sure.
Diaz brothers go house on the Pauls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch
You
that.
could totally make that happen.
I
Anyway,
want
that's
Nate and Nick Diaz. You know what? Nick Diaz, call them out. Just call
yeah.
it the Pauls. Start talking trash. See if they were like, oh, okay, we'll fight you. They're not going to say that. They'll be like, we don't know who you are. We don't want to fight you.
Anyways, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, not that I can think of. I'm sure I do, but I mean, hockey. Oh yeah, LeBron having the fan supposedly mouth off to him, and then the fan gets ejected, and LeBron takes the high road and says, "I don't think that they should have been ejected."
Yeah.
That's kind of nice of him.
Courtside Karen defending her her dad, I mean husband. And
Oh, that's mean.
I mean, I just hope she doesn't gain any more Instagram followers off of this mess. That's what I'm
Well,
hoping
look, she
for.
came out. Was it today? I don't know when she came out. She actually apologized, and she took a very much high road approach as well. So I thought that was really nice. So live and learn. I don't know what LeBron had said. I don't know what. Nobody seems to know what the interaction was between him and the husband.
I mean, it just sounds
I'm
like they were
assuming.
jawing back and forth. I mean,
Yeah, but nobody
it's
actually knows what was said. We haven't heard that audio.
it sounds like it was just jawing back and forth. It's not like anything got like too far over the line. I think that courtside Karen at 25 years old probably has a sense of entitlement and saw her, grandpa getting, owned by
So
LeBron
mean.
James. And
So mean.
yeah, look, grandpa was
So
also
mean.
wearing all white, dude. Come on now.
So
Like,
mean.
like at the end of the day, like I think you can talk a little bit of crap to players when you're sitting that close, but then also too, like, I just feel like you should have a little class and just enjoy the game. Enjoy the fact that you're able to sit courtside and that you can even
Yeah.
interact with players. I mean, so I don't know. Like he just needs to shut up and worry about his own Atlanta Hawks sucking. That's what he needs to
Yeah, I
worry
kind of
about.
do.
Maybe he should be yelling at Trey Young and the rest of those guys to do something. But
Yeah.
yeah, who cares about Courtside Karen? Anyway, that's all I got. Anyway, ah, don't forget to follow us. Thank
God.
you for watching us. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube. Listen to us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, anywhere you can find
Google has
entertainment.
podcasts?